Hey girls, welcome back to The Everyday. I'm Shauna and this is Emily, and today we are talking about knowing the will of God.
That's right. And when we talk about the will of God, we are referring to God's calling on your life, whether that be a career or a ministry choice. Sometimes we throw around that phrase, but really that's what we're talking about, how God may be leading you and how he leads many believers to do what he wills in our lives here on earth. And so in that, I remember as a preteen and teenager, and Shauna too, we've been talking about this a lot lately, but it felt really scary and was a lot of fear around trying to figure out the will of God. I remember so many prayer times and church camp experiences just seeking God for, God, what do you want me to do for the rest of my life? And unfortunately with that became a lot of fear, a lot of guilt and shame for not having that golden answer that I was looking for. And it brought a lot of misconceptions about it. So that's kind of what we want to tackle today, is some misconceptions about the will of God. So Shauna, did you have any misconceptions in that time of your life about what the will of God looks like?
Yeah, I had plenty of misconceptions about what the will of God was in my life. I remember when I was 12 and I was at youth camp for the first time, and they had this whole night dedicated to just seeking what the will of God is for your life and needing to get a call on your life. That's a word that we use a lot.
Yes.
And I remember going up to the altar and so wanting God to reveal this grand plan that he had for my life and just straining to hear him. And I remember asking God, what am I supposed to do with my life? And I remember him saying, Shauna, just love me and love people. And I was like, well, I can do that. And he didn't reveal anything else at that moment, but he just put in my heart, love me and love people. Yes. And you know what? When you walk with Jesus in your everyday, just why we call this the everyday, then he's going to lead you step by step. It's not complicated to know the will of God. He's not going to make it difficult for you to know when you're walking with Jesus. He's going to tell you when he needs you to move this place or do this or do that. He'll let you know and he'll make it clear to you.
Yeah, that is so good. I love that. And kind of along the same lines is one of the things that I really dealt with was the feeling like I was just going to miss it. That somehow I'd be following Jesus every day, but I was just going to fall off the cliff somewhere and completely miss the will of God, and my whole life was going to be ruined and all these fears around it and everything. But just like what Shauna was saying, when you're walking with Jesus every day, you know his heartbeat. It's a relationship with the Father, with God, and he will lead you. You're not going to miss it. It's impossible to miss it if you're walking with Jesus. He's going to let you know. I remember, as a preteen, just seeking God for his will for my life, and just having that church camp experience as well as praying and seeking him for it. And I remember not having that clear answer and him just saying, Emily, I'm going to lead you. Just watch. And at that time, I'm like, okay, that's not the answer I was looking for. Like, I wanted a career option or something like that. But really, though, that's exactly what I needed to hear at that time. And maybe that's what you need to hear today, that God is going to lead your life. And if he does give you a ministry, a specific career call, that is amazing. We seek the Lord for that and we celebrate that. But if you don't have that clear answer, that's okay too. God will lead your life.
Yeah. Another thing just to go off of that is that even if he does give you like a little snippet, maybe you have like a call into ministry on your life, like you're supposed to be a pastor one day or a missionary. That's just a small, like little portion of your life. I know that sounds crazy to say that, but there's so much of your life you're going to live, and God's going to lead you to do different things in your life as well. So it's not going to be the only thing that you do, probably. God never reveals his full will for your entire life in one moment. And that's the third misconception, is that you're going to know you have to know the full will of God for your life in order to walk it out. I think that would really scare all of us if we knew exactly what God had for us in the future. But you know what? There's a person in the Bible who he didn't know exactly what God had in store. He had little bits and pieces, just like the rest of us do, of what God had. And his name was Abraham, and the father of our faith. And God had told him to go to a place that he didn't even know. And it says this in Hebrews 11. By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to a place that he was to receive as an inheritance. And he went out, not knowing where he was going. By faith, he went to live in a land of promise, as in a foreign land, living in tents with Isaac and Jacob, heirs with him of the same promise. For he was looking forward to the city that has foundations, whose designer and builder is God. So he really didn't even know what he was looking for. God just gave him this small piece of just saying, get up and go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to lead you along the way. I'm not going to give you the full picture. He had no idea what was to come. He didn't know about like Moses and the Exodus and then way down the line, Jesus coming on the scene. But he just knew his small portion that God had revealed to him, and he was obedient in that.
Yeah.
And that's where faith comes in. It's walking by faith.
Yeah, it really is walking by faith, step by step. And God will reveal that next step to you. And Shauna and I, we are walking by faith. You ask any of your leaders, your parents, pastors, they are walking this life in faith. Because that's God's heart for us, is to lean in, to trust him with every single step of our lives. So we just want to encourage you in this, that if you're feeling scared or feel fearful about your future, what God may have for you, I just want to encourage you that God is going to take care of you, that he knows the future he has for you and the plans that he has for you. He will reveal his will to you step by step, and you do not have to be worried about what's to come. He's going to take care of you every step of the way. So I just want to leave you with this blessing. It's found in Colossians 1:9-10. For this reason, since the day we heard about you, we have not stopped praying for you. We continually ask God to fill you with the knowledge of his will through all the wisdom and understanding that the Spirit gives, so that you may live a life worthy of the Lord and please him in every way, bearing fruit in every good work, growing in the knowledge of God.
We love you girls so much, and we believe that God is leading and directing your life even now. Even if you don't see pieces coming together. Maybe some of you are seniors in high school, and you feel just this pressure to know it all and to have it all figured out. But we are 25 and we still don't have it figured out. We're out of college and we still don't have it figured out. So just take heart. There's a lot of Christians who have gone before you, and they have walked by faith, and God is still leading us, even the two of us in our lives. And we love you. We have an everyday devotional available. The link is below. We also have a Spotify playlist below that you can click on, and you can listen to the songs in your everyday walk with Jesus.
We'll see you girls next time. Bye.